What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the vault. My name is Money, and in the spirit of being fully transparent, I want to be upfront and honest with you guys that I am way more of a Parks and Rec fan than an Office fan. Yeah, I'm a fucking idiot. Just hear me out. I appreciate the humor of both shows, and I know they get compared and contrasted all the time. And if I had to list out all of my favorite TV shows on a piece of paper, The Office and Parks and Rec would both be there in the top 5 of all time. But don't get me wrong, The Office does hold a special place in my heart. The humor is rich with nuances and can be so subtle, while at other times it's as in your face as throwing a cat through a ceiling tile. There's something so satisfying and just really special about taking a place so common like an office and turning it into such a lively comedy. But what truly makes The Office stand out is its characters. The show started off with a core cast that was kept the same nearly all the way through. Outside of this core cast, it also had dozens of reoccurring characters like Todd Packer, Karen Filippelli, David Wallace, and once Michael Scott was written off of the show, we saw huge stars such as Will Ferrell's D'Angelo Vickers and James Spader's Robert California attempt to fill the gaping hole that was left by Michael Scott. That's what she said. However, out of all of the characters that I've been listing throughout this video so far, do you know what they all have in common? None of them, and I mean none of them, have been turned into Funko products yet. No Karen, no David, no Robert California. And I mean, if we look back at that core cast I described at the beginning of this video, there's still no Oscar, no Phyllis, no Creed. But do you know what we do have? We have Dwight. And Dwight. And Dwight? So with that being said, I think that it's time that we get real about Funko, The Office, and their weird obsession with one character in particular, Dwight K. Schrute. Funko first revealed the Office products for the first time at New York Toy Fair 2019. This first wave was definitely on the smaller side, featuring core cast members like Daryl, Pam, and Michael sporting his World's Best Boss mug. The Office was a set that fans had been asking for forever. With the Parks and Rec license having had such a small run and then eventually getting canceled, some fans thought that this day would literally never come. It was definitely a magical day among the community when Funko officially announced this line, and fans were extremely excited. The way that Funko revealed this first set of exclusives for The Office always kind of fascinated me, because half of them were released and available for pre-order long before Funko even showed them off. Hot Topic's Prison Mike and Box Lunch's Jim as Dwight were in collectors' hands before this image was even released. I personally think that this first wave of Office Pops was a huge success. The Commons were a core cast of characters that people loved, and then Funko followed it up with a bunch of exclusive variants that everybody absolutely adored. The only outlier here, I think, is that Target blonde-haired Dwight, which I really just don't care for that much, and if I had to compare it to something, it would probably be like when you go trick-or-treating and someone gives you a box of raisins in your Halloween candy. Like, it isn't enough to ruin your Halloween, but it still kind of bums you out for a little bit. Once fans had these pops in their hands, they quickly realized that Funko hid some Easter eggs on them. Every single pop has a quote on the back flap from that character. These quotes are usually a very memorable line that they say, or it's from the specific scene that the pop is from, but usually it's a quote that the character is most known for. If I had a pop and had to pick a quote for the back of the box, it would probably be, "Please don't ask me why I own Wild Hogs on Blu-ray." It wasn't until fall of 2019 when things started to get just a little weird with the set. New York Comic Con 2019 brought us Dwight with the little bobblehead, and then shortly after we got 3 holiday-themed pops. While popular amongst fans, these all seemed like a waste in my opinion. Belsnickel Dwight was the most okayest, but Elf Dwight and Classy Michael felt unnecessary and forced just to capitalize on the holiday. I was kind of reluctant to get these and would probably be pretty upset if I got these as a Christmas gift. Oh, was I that bad this year? Following the holidays, a pandemic started and we got yet another Dwight variant. I'm really not sure which one of these two is worse. I guess that the Emerald City Comic Con Recyclops isn't that bad. It's just more or less that it's a precursor to a bigger problem. This one is okay because Emerald City Comic Con's motif is green, where Cyclops is all about saving the planet, at first at least, so this one kind of makes sense to me. Shortly after Emerald City Comic Con, we have a Dwight in a CPR mask that went to FYE. And then a few weeks later, we got a first look at Stanley Hudson with the pretzel. And it was very, very well received because it wasn't another Dwight variant. And then at New York Toy Fair 2020, Funko revealed glams of a brand new wave, which sported 3 brand new Dwights, one of which goes down in history as the worst Funko Shop drop of all time. Now, I really only fear 3 things: sinkholes, People Who Choose to Eat at Applebee's, and the Princess Unicorn Dwight launch on the Funko shop.
Now, I really do believe that the Princess Unicorn Dwight drop was a turning point for this set. This was not only the start of the Funko shop's inability to handle proper traffic, but it was also a huge turnoff for collectors. Funko tossed up this tweet that pissed off a lot of fans because it felt like they were poking fun at the frustration that fans were feeling, and then they decided to lump Princess Unicorn Dwight in with the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive lineup, which was already a nightmare on its own.
This was probably the worst thing that Funko could have done. I imagine the geniuses over at this company were sitting around and thinking to themselves, oh, we had one exclusive that didn't work because our servers couldn't handle it, so let's take it and toss it in with 40 other exclusives because that should work out perfectly, right? Definitely didn't work out. And that brings us to today with the most recent announcement from Funko. They announced this huge wave of Office Pops with only 4 commons and so many different exclusives. However, there was a lot of the big 3, and that's Jim, Michael, and Dwight. And that's kind of what I call them, the big 3, because they take up so much of this Office set. However, I would be lying to you if I said that I wasn't excited for some of these exclusives. I feel like the Kevin with the tissue shoes is so good, and Dwight wearing Pam's wig is just so stupid and so niche. I think I absolutely love it. However, the amount of variants of Jim, Michael, and Dwight in this set are actually the big part of this problem.
So I decided to break it all down for you guys. This pie chart shows a breakdown of the Office Pops by character. Jim takes up the least amount of room here with only 13.3% pops from this line depicting this character with 6 variants. Michael Scott got a huge boost with this most recent wave, as he got a total of 4 new variants, and that lands him at almost double Jim with 22.2% of the line. However, the big beast here is none other than Dwight, with a whopping 35.6 of the Office line. Yeah, at the time of making this video, more than a third of all pops made for The Office feature Dwight Schrute. But I wanted to take this one step further and analyze all Funko Office merchandise rather than just the pops. This chart is a breakdown of all Office merchandise, including keychains, mystery minis, t-shirt bundles, all of it. With this pool of data, I felt that it was worth pulling out Kevin and Daryl because they have 5 different items of merchandise each, which lands them at a percentage higher than just 4. So even if you include everything else that Funko has made, Dwight still has more merchandise than everybody else who isn't listed on this graph. And then you guys might also be interested in seeing a full breakdown of every single character rather than just the ones that I deemed worthy of pulling out with higher than X percentage. The largest slice of the pie here is still Dwight, followed by Michael, and then Jim. As you guys can tell, it's a lot of that big 3. But now you can just see how everything else is broken down by the rest of the cast. The smallest slices of this go to Oscar, as he only has a mystery mini, and then the etc., which consists of just the Amazon exclusive Dundee Award.
Yeah, I know, that's a lot of data to look at, and it may be a little overwhelming, but I do feel that it's necessary to know. In a little under 2 years, Funko has made over 70 pieces of merchandise from The Office. And in comparison to other licenses and other franchises that Funko owns, it may get frustrating because your favorite movie, your favorite TV show, your favorite video game may not get as much representation as The Office is, when The Office is arguably one of Funko's newest licenses in their disposal.
So I've been talking a lot of shit throughout this video, but I think that there still is a lot of good inside of this Office set. With every line that I analyze like this, I always find it fun to share my thoughts on every single pop in 2 minutes or less. This is a great pop. This is eh. This is eh, but it says book. It's the common Dwight, nothing special. I can't believe this is the only Pam pop so far. Love the Daryl, and I love that they gave Kevin the chili pot. This 2-pack is kind of bleh. This is the worst item from the Office set, period. This pop is great. This pop is not great. I think that Golden Face Jim is probably one of the best pops from the Office set. I love that they gave Angie the banjo. This pop is tough because it's from a great scene from the show, but it looks too much like Dwight to be Jim, so I'm gonna have to say that I don't like it. I like this one a lot. I love Date Mike, one of my favorites from the set. Pass, pass, pass. This is a great pop, even though it looks like he has ham on his face. This is the only Recyclops that is passable. Why doesn't the bobblehead bobble? Stanley with the pretzel is superior to Florida Stanley. This is a good pop. This is a stupid pop. This is also a stupid pop. Florida Stanley is inferior to Stanley with the pretzel. The only saving grace to this pop is the fact that they blurred out her boob. I wish this was just a regular Kelly and not casual day Kelly. This is unnecessary and I don't like it. Getting this was so stressful. but I'm gonna be honest, and please don't tell anybody, I kind of like it. Get this the fuck out of my face. This is dumb. Pass. Yet another pass. Jan makes a great pop, not gonna lie. This is one that I'm really torn on. I think it's a really dumb Dwight variant, but I still think it's cool because it's from such a niche moment from the show. This is a great pop. This is an awesome Michael variant. This is a terrible Michael variant. This is a great 2-pack. This is the level of creativity I love to see from Funko, and this is dumb.
I would straight up rather eat Applebee's than have to do that again. So where exactly does this leave us? You guys now know the history, my personal opinion, and the hard facts and data behind this Office set. But what's the solution? What exactly is going to solve this problem of there being too many Dwights, too many Michaels, and too many Jims, and this just abundant oversaturation of Office product from Funko? You know, Funko's not stupid. They know that they're making money, and they are going to continue to make Office products like there's no tomorrow. And I really do think that we are just in the beginning phases of this Office set. There are so many other characters and variants and different sort of molds that Funko can make from this show that we haven't even seen yet. I think some of the things that we are bound to see include
Creed, Phyllis, Oscar, Robert California, a Utica Boys 3-pack, Todd Packer, Roy, Ryan, Karen, Plop, Dwight in a sumo suit, Jim in a sumo suit, Stanley in a sumo suit, Holly, Joe Bennett, Nelly, Hitoshi, David Wallace, Mose, Gabe. Actually, let's do Gabe as Lady Gaga, Dwight in Meredith's wig, Dwight in Stanley's wig, Dwight with a pumpkin head, a Joker 3-pack, Michael with 2 heads from his Halloween costume.
And those are just some examples of things that Funko can make still. I guarantee that you guys watching at home are probably thinking of things that I left off of my list. Like, for example, now that I'm reading it back to you guys, I missed Bob Vance Refrigeration. Like, how could I forget about Bob Vance Refrigeration? It's no coincidence that it took us 4 waves to get Jan, a character who had been around since the very first episode, to be turned into a pop. And it's also no coincidence that Oscar's first appearance is in this mystery mini set, and I would bet money that at some point soon we'll get an Oscar pop, and it'll be awesome to have. But at the end of the day, Funko needs to sit down and evaluate what's worth making, what isn't worth making. This way collectors don't have to buy all these stupid variants like this Target blonde-haired Dwight. It just is irrelevant, it feels useless, and collectors only pick it up to keep their set at 100%. Because I guarantee a pop like the blonde-haired Dwight is no Office collector's favorite pop. And when you have collectors who collect so many other sets like Marvel, DC, Star Wars, there's just so many different things that you want to collect. It's impossible to get all these different variants to keep a set at 100% when there are so many pops in such a short amount of time. And speaking from my own personal experience, it really does feel like The Office is slowly taking over my entire collection. Oh my god. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video essay on The Office. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. Do you think that The Office is becoming a line that's too big and Funko needs to scale back? Or are you one of those people that's like, yeah, let's just keep going. I'm ready to keep spending money, because I think that's really how I am, even though I talked about how much I hate it throughout this entire video. And if you guys want to hear me talk about other lines that Funko has and do another video essay on something different, make sure you guys leave me a comment down below and let me hear your suggestions. I'd love to hear them. Making these types of videos is one of my favorite things to do, so I'd love to make more of them, and I'd love to hear your guys' suggestions. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you guys haven't already, and I will see you guys soon.